people say... Wait, okay, let me start that over. I don't actually know what that quote means. Clearly I don't know what that quote means. Hello everybody, my name is CulBlu, and I'm bringing you guys this video. This is going to be the third video, finally, of the CulBlu Goes Alpha series. This is going to be a video of basically quotes to live by. These are basically just things that I personally live by, and I figured, I have a lot of quotes I actually live by, and I said, hey, why not just make a video about the quotes that really touch me as a person, or create me as a person, and share them with the world. So yes, this will be that video. This will be quotes that inspire me to live my life the way I live my life. And this will also give some insight as to who I am and how things are. And that pillow dough. Let's go ahead and get started. I have my laptop here, so we're going to go ahead and start. I have basically 5 quotes that I picked out, and I'll post them on the screen so you guys can read along as I read them along. But we'll go ahead and start with the first one, which would be this one. It's not so much how busy you are, but why you're busy. The bee is praised, the mosquito is swatted. And that's just one of those quotes that I kind of picked up when I was back in middle school. Not really much special about it. It's a very straightforward quote in my personal opinion, but it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter how busy you are, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Like, if you're doing something and you're extremely busy, if you don't have a good purpose for it, it doesn't matter. Nobody will, I guess, in a sense, respect it or see the value in it, so you might as well not be doing it. Perfect case in point, mosquito versus bee. A bee is very busy. We all understand the phrase busy bee. A mosquito is also extremely busy, but we swat mosquitoes because we know that they steal our blood and they suck. Get it? Because bees suck. Right. But bees are very busy for a purpose that we all can agree on. It's like, okay, they're making honey, or they're making the flowers pollinate, they're making people have allergy attacks. I don't really know. Bees are just spreading things. But we respect the bee, so we praise the bee, but we swat the mosquito. So that's a very nice, straightforward quote. It's just like, it always tells me as a person to always think about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, as opposed to just doing it just because. So don't just necessarily go through the motions. Just kind of do it with a purpose, Yeah, let's move on to the next one. The second quote will be this one. Why in the world are the people most capable of opposing the Titans the only ones given the privilege of avoiding them entirely? And that quote was made by Annie from Attack on Titans. If you guys haven't watched Attack on Titan, I would highly recommend it. It's definitely worth reading through the whole entire thing, or you can wait until it gets dubbed, or English dubbed, that is. But it's a really, really awesome, amazing show. It just gives you like that feeling of being in the battlefield. But that quote I love because it brings up a very, 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 very good point. It's like, why in the world are people who are the best at doing things the ones that get pulled away the furthest? I work in a help desk in real life, and if you guys don't know that, go check out the Diary of a Help Desk Agent series. You'll hear me complain about it all the time. But I work in a help desk, and that's one of the things that, after I heard this quote, I was like, you know what, that applies to everything, because the people who are really good at taking phone calls, which is what we do at our help desk, we take phone calls from people who need help. The people who are really good at taking those phone calls, they're the ones who become the people who do ticket management, or, they go become SMEs or subject matter experts, where they don't do anything but just study one specific thing and they help people who need help with that. It's like, why would you take the person who's really good at dealing with the clients, really good at dealing with users, and move into something completely not even related to dealing with users, just because they did a really good job dealing with users? Like, that made no sense to me. So I love this quote because it reflected that perfectly, and it just basically put words to one of my feelings that I had. Is like, you say this person's doing a really good job, but yet you tell them to do something completely different and no longer do the thing they were good at. Which I guess, in a sense, in real life, it makes sense, because, if somebody's really good at this thing, they can possibly become good at that, they can possibly become good at that. Sure, there's logic, but that's not the point. My point is, they're really good on the phones. Why I gotta take their calls now? Come on now. Anyway, alright, and the third one would be this. I choose my friends for the looks, my acquaintances for their good characters, and my enemies for their good intellects. And that quote was made by Lord Henry from the Picture of Dorian Gray. If you guys have never read that book, I wouldn't recommend reading the whole entire thing. I would say just read a summary. It's just as good. It's a really cool book about being narcissistic and, caring about yourself more than you care about anything else. But all aside, I love that quote because it just puts, it speaks the truth about myself. Like I don't necessarily want to say I'm a shallow person, but I'm a shallow person. I do choose people for specific things. Like, I choose to be with these people because they look really nice. I choose to be with these people because they love what I love too. Like, they like doing what I like doing. But I don't necessarily want to mix all my groups. I don't necessarily want a person who kind of fits in all categories, because it makes me feel a little uncomfortable sometimes. Like, if I have a person who has the look of somebody who I want to be associated with, and also they like doing what I want to do, and also on top of that, we can have some really good debates. I might feel a little bit uncomfortable because I'm like, I'm not sure how to feel about this person, and if that person's a lady and she's single and she wants to hit me up, hello, I'm here. But on the side though, putting people in certain boxes is something I naturally do, something that we as humans naturally do, and it's something that I'll admit that I do. I try to avoid it, and at the very least, I at least acknowledge that I do it. But this quote hit home pretty well for Alan, so I love this quote because of that. Alright, so number 4 for this will be, never give up on what you really want to do. The person with big dreams is more powerful than the one with all the facts. And that quote was made by Albert Einstein. That's a really cool quote. It's something I just randomly ran by when I was just searching through like things that quotes actually do live by. But it's a really good quote. It's like saying, hey, dream big, go for the big dream. Just because somebody says, statistically not everybody gets what they want, or statistically this doesn't really work out for everybody, it doesn't really mean anything. I mean, just go for it. If you strive to do what you like to do, strive to do what you want to do in a logical manner, in the sense that you're not just kind of, giving up everything, saying, hey, I don't need a job to sustain myself, I'll just go pursue my dream of doing this. No, that's not safe. Just do it in a safe manner, a logical manner. But if you just keep striving for it, you'll eventually reach it. So I love that quote because it just says, do what you want to do. Just because people say it's not possible, prove them wrong. That's a good quote. Albert Einstein, smart guy. He obviously knows what he's talking about, relatively speaking. And quote number 5, which is by far my favorite one so far, it's not all about knowing the answers, it's about stalling long enough to find them. And that quote was made by me, I think. I'm not sure if I'm the originator of that entire quote, but I do know for a fact that working in the world of help desk, that's basically your job. If you can know the answer, if you know the answer, you're golden. But if you don't know the answer, you better stall for as long as you possibly can so you can find the answer. And that quote reflects into real life as well, because in real life you can't always know all the answers. I mean, saying you know all the answers, you're basically lying to everybody in the world. So just accepting the fact that you don't know all the answers, but you can find a way to find out. That's kind of what that quote's kind of getting at. Like I said, I made up that quote as far as I understand it, or as far as I know. Probably somebody made something similar, maybe I got inspired, who really knows. But that is a quote that I did make up because I know in the world of help desk, people call in for all kinds of crazy stuff. You don't always know the answer, and you can't say, yeah, I know the answer, or no, I don't know the answer. You have to say, I'll go ahead and find out for you. If you can say, I'll go ahead and find out for you, a lot of people will just kind of relax and chill as you go find the answer for the actual thing. But that just kind of proves that you can't know the answer to everything. And in real life, you can't know the answer to everything. Nobody knows all the answers of what's going to happen in your future. Nobody knows how exactly things are going to go for you as you go along. Nobody knows if your relationship with this person is going to work out. Nobody knows if you're going to be rich. Nobody knows if you're going to be poor. Nobody knows it. Nobody knows for a fact. Because nobody can tell the future as far as I understand it. The only thing we can do is make predictions and stall. Just stall until you get there. I mean, just some people say fake it till you make it. I say stall it until you find it out. That's kind of how I go. That's my philosophy with everything. Stall on making that YouTube video, CulBlu, until you can think of a really good idea. And here I am. Alright, so that'll be basically it for this whole entire video. Don't really have much else to say. If you guys want to check out the other videos, feel free to click on the links at the end of all this. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, I will see you guys whenever.